What is going on this channel? Some cannabis, but it's all broken down, and I'll tell you why. It's because I'm like, what the fuck you for? Like, I'm not gonna argue with some bitch because Anyway, I'm drinking this of my mango soda. I love some banging shit. Now, in case y'all know, you guys probably see Matt Moore 420. Because I'm 420 friendly. Just leave it as that. I was stoned as hell earlier, and I'm gonna get stoned again. Um, but yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about the story of my life to start out this fresh new channel. I finally got granted to do live videos, and I said yes, finally. That's when I was hanging with my buddy James, and let's just say James is one of those good people, man. James is one of my homies, and I will always love him like he's my little brother. So I'm gonna make this as put my weed in so I can gather it all up, and we're gonna smoke the whole motherfucking thing tonight. So we're gonna get stoned, uh, and we're gonna talk about my life, and because it's gonna be a long one. I just know it. I just already know the story's gonna be pretty long. I hope you guys like my thumbnail. And see, I used to be on Matthew Moore Underground. I don't do the Underground channel anymore because it got quite boring, and my main channel got quite boring. So I said, fuck it, let's just start something fresh. Let's just renew everything, start a fresh, clean slate, and tell more about me. And plus, like I said, you guys be seeing my friends and stuff. Um, what I should have done earlier, because I hung out with James earlier as well. I was playing frisbee golf with him, and I should have recorded him, but I was being dumb and I didn't think. So I said, "Fuck." But that's fine. Maybe some other time. I told him, I said, maybe some other times, James, I'll basically record you so you can start playing frisbee golf and yeah, be funny and shit on it. Because like I told you guys, we're making some lost tapes, and lost tapes. I'm gonna tell you again about lost tapes. The lost tapes are gonna be about me and my friends, and what I'm saying, just bullshitting and having a good time and having fun stuff to do, like funny stunts and shit. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna smoke out of this bong because what I'm saying. I had this for a while. I had this bong for a while now, and I haven't cleaned it out. Believe it or not, ever since I've been doing my underground channel, I have not cleaned it out. So I'm really upset that I did not do that. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna start packing all this in. This is some fresh cannabis, and it's not fake weed. Trust me, it's not. It's some real stuff, and it smells really, really like sour diesel, really earthy, and really gassy and limity. So I know it's some sour diesel. You guys probably count me wrong on it, even though some of you guys really are um, potheads and stuff like I am. And so basically, I'm still packing out. So basically, weed's about to be legal soon in this state, and I just cannot wait. I'm really excited. Once I get me a medical card and everything, and get shit that I need to be medicated, then I'm happy. They're saying that they're going to have weed dispensaries here in Butler County. I cannot wait for that because I am super stoked. And I've seen many people be like, oh yeah, I'm really stoked about it, man. Getting me some fresh dank weed and get medicated and shit. And the reason why I need weed is because my anxiety, my depression, and my stress I have all that bullshit wrong with me, and I'm pretty much falling apart. So let's take one good toke out of this, and we're going to talk about the story about my life, because I know some of you guys probably won't listen. I mean, I know I have no viewers right now. I know. Um, but if you guys, want to subscribe to this channel, feel free to subscribe. That's if you guys want to. I'm not going to beg you guys to do it or anything, because if you guys want to. Because this channel is going to be up for a long time, even until I'm dead. So I'm going to be on YouTube for a long time and look back at my videos when I'm older and be like, damn, is that me? You know? Um, but yeah, you guys don't see me as when I'm older too. But so yeah, let's not get too sidetracked. So let's take one huge, what you call it, hit here on the bong, and this motherfucker has not been cleaned. I should have cleaned it earlier, but fuck it. I mean, it's still gonna get me stoned, so it don't matter. So here we go. When I start taking this hit, after this hit, I'm gonna talk about the story about my life. And just to warn you guys, it's tragic. Some of it's funny, and some of it's really actiony. And it's going to tell you shit I've been through and everything. It's really sad too. I mean, like I said, it's like, you know. Anyway, here we go. Just in case you guys didn't know, I took one hit off the bong. So the motherfucker starts saying, reconnect. I hate internet sometimes. So when it says reconnect, I know I'm going to repeat myself over and over until I start telling you guys. But I did take hits off the bong, and I guess the internet didn't want you guys to see me take hits off the bong. So I would stick hits anyway. Story of my life begins when I was just. All I remember is just when I was just a baby and growing up. Okay, I know some parts when I was just a baby. Back then, this is in the 1994. I was born in 1994. I'm 24 years old. About to turn 25 this year. So again, happy guys. I'm gonna tell you guys this. Happy New Year's, you guys. Hope you guys have a fucking terrific year. Hope I do too. This is 2019. But to turn 25, I'm really kind of scared about it. Getting old. So, been born in 1994, on January 27th. And, you know what I'm saying? I was a good baby. I was never crying. I was never a pain in the ass. I was never mean to anyone. I was just a baby. I mean, I was a good baby, you know. And then, you know what I'm saying, years went by. I was a late walker, okay? Didn't know how to fucking walk, and I never knew how to walk. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The doctors thought I was going to have braces. And the doctors thought I was going to have braces. So I'm like, okay. That's what they were telling my mom. They said, Melissa, that's my mom's name, Melissa. They said, Melissa, your son might have to have braces. Because, he can't walk. And he'll probably never able to walk. So, that's when my mom took me to my grandma's church. And my grandma grew to church. She's not doing good these days. But this is when she was in good health. And she is the pastor of her own church, even though she's dying. But anyway, this is when she was in good health. So when she was in good health, man, my mom would take me to church. And when the church service was going and stuff, and when the church service was about to, end, all of a sudden, my mom's like, church service is about to close. they said anybody needs a testimony, a prayer, a prayer request or anything. Does your loved ones need to be prayed for or something? I mean, that's what my grandma said. I mean, she's my great grandma. She's 90 years old now, and my mom's like, yeah, I truly think that my son needs prayer. And I'm not trying to be religious on you guys. I promise. I'm trying my hardest to tell you what's going on. And but anyway, as soon I went to church, well, as soon as when I got prayed for, I immediately. I mean, I do believe in God. I believe in all things. And once my grandma and my whole family starts praying for me on my legs, I mean, immediately, guys, I got on my feet, started praising the Lord, and my mom told me all that said was out of my mouth. Even I had speech impediments. I never really even hardly talked as a kid, as a baby. And all she said, all I said was pray a word, which means praise the Lord. And I was sitting there praising the Lord, running up and down up in the aisles, and I'm just sitting there like I knew the Lord was there with me. I knew the Lord was making me walk, and I knew He was right now. So I said, I said, I was just sitting there praising the Lord. Then years later, I remember I had a hernia, and this hernia was pretty harsh. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know this one gets kind of too graphic to tell you guys, but I'm gonna have to let you guys know this channel might get a little TMI for you guys. So yeah, no, you're flipping me off a little thing. Uh-huh. So when basically I went back to the doctor. Okay, and my mom said, well, my son's nut, okay, is one bigger than the other. And so they said, well, we're going to figure it out and see what's wrong with it. So they checked me out, and I had a hernia. Now, they said if I don't get this hernia out, it might kill me faster than I can basically ever breathe. Faster than I can ever say Stephen Hawking. Okay?
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Can I ever continue what?
Can I use your gaming headphones just for a little bit?
I told you no. No, I know.
Just while I'm doing this.
I don't know where they are. I really don't. So
I
anyway,
don't want to have to wait until after the video's done to start playing.
I know, but just let me do this, please. So, you know what I'm saying? The doctor said, yeah, the hernia can really kill him fast as he can say Stephen Hawking. And so basically, my mom got scared. She's, finally my insurance covered everything. I think I went to Fort Hamilton or Children's Hospital down in Cincinnati. I cannot remember. It was just years. So, I mean, I don't know where it was at, but I know it was some kind of hospital. So my mom drove me back to the house, and well, she didn't drive me, but my aunt, I think my Aunt Kathy did, or whoever, somebody in my family. So went back to the house, and chilled for a little bit, and I was still hurting. I really was. I was hurting pretty bad because my hernia was like, it feels like somebody punched you in the ball sack. Okay, and it was just that bad. I said, I'm hurting, mommy. I'm hurting. And she said, I know. She used to call me Pooh. I know, Pooh. I know. It's all right. You'll be all right. So finally, I don't know how many fucking days later, I started going to the doctor and everything, and then they knocked me out with anesthesia. I mean, I was out for the longest time, guys. I really was. I mean, laid fuck out, man. And I'm just sitting there, waiting. Well, actually sleeping, and with shit. So immediately they started working on me and shit. I mean, they took the hernia out of me with a complete success. And I remember as waking up in this operating room after they were done with me, and I felt this excruciating pain. It almost feels like somebody just fucking ripped your sack open and fucking took a torch with it and stuck it up there for a few hours and sealed it back together. That's how it hurt. It hurt so bad. I was in major pain. Okay, and I feel like I couldn't piss at all. I was hurting pretty bad. The middle of the night, I said, Mom, I gotta go pee. She said, You gotta go pee? I said, Yeah, I gotta go pee. So, what I'm saying? Finally, I went to do my thing. Okay? And, the doctor's like, if you pee, you get a treat. Or, get some stickers and treats. You want that? And I'm like, yeah. So, basically I did what I did. I mean, you had to do something on your first try. I mean, what I'm saying? Thank God I didn't piss blood. I didn't, it was just regular piss. And I'm going to see if I can find them, Lacey. You over exactly. You huff and puff every time.
Well, I don't want to have to sit here for
These break.
They're not going to break.
I'm mad. Yeah.
I'm going to be extra careful with them.
Better be.
Yeah. Just until tomorrow when Gary gets my head.
So anyway, after all that, years went flashed right ahead of me, okay? And this is where it gets to the point where I start having sisters. First sister I had, and this is when I was living down in Timber Hill. And I was only 5 years old. Actually, by 4. My mom says I was 5. I highly doubt it, but I don't fucking know. When I was just, I guess I could say I was 4, probably. But yeah, let's just say I was 4. My mom, was pregnant, and she fell in love with this one guy named Anthony Pierce. Okay, this guy named Anthony Pierce. And that's my mom's ex-boyfriend. And he's finally married now. To some big chick named Carlene Coy. So her last name's Pierce. Carlene Pierce. So that's my sister's stepmom. But anyway, I'll get to that. I don't know how many hours later. So when my sister, was in my mom's stomach, and I said, I'm having a sissy. And she said, yeah, you're having a sissy. And so that's when my first sister, Elizabeth. She knew what was going to happen to her because we thought she was going to be done for sure. And, we couldn't revive her. So once my mom left the hospital, Elizabeth came around, she was alive. She came home and she was healthy as hell, but she was still sick. So, she was a skinny baby. My mom felt sorry for Elizabeth was really ill. But mom said no, she's doing a lot better. Somehow, in some way. Okay. And so when Elizabeth grew up, okay, this is back in '99, and Desiree was born, which is my baby sister, because my mom fell in love with this other guy named Sean. To see how I came about, I'm gonna go way back real quick. How I came in this world, my mom got raped by my dad, and here I am. So my mom and my dad never got married, okay? And so yeah, that's how I came in this planet. Because my mom and my dad never got married. They hate each other. So, you know what I'm saying? Back in '99, that's when my baby sister coming around and shit. And I'm having another sissy. She's like, yeah, you're having another sissy. So I said, okay, I'll have another sissy, you know. Finally, months later, you know, so she was really happy. Daddy, you know, he said, how you doing, sweetie? Well, you know what I'm saying? They were just, you know, hugging and kissing each other, and you know, they just. I'm saying he didn't want to take care of my baby sister Desiree. Okay, this is when mom was going down. That didn't happen, so he didn't want to take care of her. Her diet it was everywhere, piss was everywhere. Um, yeah, it was that bad. What?
You know only one side works, right? This side doesn't work. I haven't even touched these.
Try to adjust the knob on that.
What, this?
Yeah. If they don't work, I'm throwing them away. I'm getting pissed. Alright, let me do this, please. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everything was just everywhere. Feces and urine was everywhere. It was bad. So, Children's Services came by, and, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know, because Children's Services was knocking on the freaking door. CPS was on the fucking door. Knocked on the fucking door. So here comes Anthony, answering the fucking door, and he was open for the door a little bit. Still made a little big, well, actually half a crack, you know, about this from the fucking door frame. He said, "Yeah, may I help you?" He said, um, they said, "Well, are you, where's Melissa?" You know, or whatever, and or something like that. They were asking for someone. I can't remember. So he said, "You got the wrong fucking house. Get the fuck away from my house." The way he did, he slammed the door in the fucking face. He said, "But boom." So finally, they came back the next day. My mom was back in the house anyway. They said they were knocking on the door. They said, "Melissa, are you Melissa?" And they said, "Yeah, why?" You know, "Oh, we just want to do a house search and see everything's okay, and then we'll be out of your hair. No problem." And she said, "Okay, that's fine. Do what you want." You know, because we had tons of food anyway. We were stocked on food. We had chicken, pizza, you know, everything from the whole 9 yards and shit. We had everything. And so, you know what I'm saying? They said, it's okay, everything looks good here. So they looked by the stairwell in the house, and because the house was 2 stories. And it was just, you know, they said, so they looked back over there. They said, "Well, what the hell is this?" Well, my mom's like, "Well, that's just clothes I have to wash, and then because the wash machine and the dryer's out, so I have to give me a new wash machine and dryer and everything." Oh, okay. Well, we see what's going on now. That's fine. Um, you know what I'm saying? But they said, "Well, just let you know, Melissa, you're doing really good so far for your house, but we recommend you clean that stuff up so your kids won't be taken away, and make sure your baby is really really changed and shit. Um, So that's all we was going to tell you. But if you don't clean your house, fully, for 6 days or 9 days, or 6 to 9 days, then your kids will be taken away. So she's like, okay, that's fine. I'll clean the house. Well, see, Anthony did not want to get off the fucking Nintendo because, see, he used to have an NES Nintendo, and he would not get off the motherfucker. He was playing Super Mario all fucking night and all fucking day. He would not get off of it. He was on that motherfucker for 3 hours. Actually, not 3 hours, but 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. He was on there for 3 days. And she's Pernell. I'm not Pernell. Anthony, when I leave, I want this house spick and span. I'm going somewhere tomorrow. Okay, babe, He did not want to get off that motherfucker. He was still on the son bitch when she came back. She's like, oh my God, Anthony, I told you to help me to fucking clean the house. He's a fucking self. So, see, Elizabeth, yeah. So, you know what? And as soon as they grabbed my sisters and everything, and I saw everything out the fucking window, I knew what was going on. Okay, I knew it was going to be taken away and sent to foster care. I just knew it. Can't take much heavy hits because I want to call him back. I'm trying to get to that.
I tried.
Talk.
And your left side's out.
Okay.
Who are you?
Okay. I'm gonna throw Moy soon.
You know what you've been lying,
Pissed.
And it's not even my fault this time.
I'm pissed because the motherfuckers are broke.
These are what? First
Something.
750, something like that?
Yeah.
Not worth it. You can get the better ones.
So when and plus they didn't get me a fucking jacket for that one too, so
Yeah.
I can go live. Anyway. So when I was looking at the door, a window, I knew what the fuck was happening. Then finally, they looked for me and they said, Matthew, that's my real name, Matthew. And they said, Matthew, where are you? Me being stupid, standing right in their fucking way. There you are. You want to come with us for a little bit? So what happened was, when I got taken away, me and my sisters and all of us were crying and shit. We were screaming and everything, crying. Mommy! And Dodger was sitting there screaming and shit and crying, and my middle sister was too, and I'm sitting there crying. And then I look back with no smile on my fucking face, but sitting there crying. And see, as a kid, I never smiled. I never smiled in my life when I was just a kid. Even when I was just a baby, I never smiled. But I'll tell you why about that. Even when I make smiling pictures and stuff, but anyway, I don't like smiling. So when I look back over there, not smiling and stuff, but crying and shit, that's when I lost, my life. That's when I lost my childhood, just about. Been crying off my fucking ass. I was heartbroken. We were all crying so hard since we got went to welfare office. I'm just sitting there, I want mommy, And so finally we all dried up and everything after they gave us toys to play with. And finally they said, come with me for a little bit. So we was just following them to the phone booth, wherever you want to call it, and just sitting down with them. And they were looking for numbers. They didn't want. This lady was looking for numbers, and I remember my caseworker's name. It was her name was Jenny. We call her Jen. Jenny, she was scattering through papers, scrounging around shit, looking for numbers. And my sisters were smiling, and laughing at her and stuff. But I'm just sitting there, I'm looking at her like she was retarded, and I didn't want to smile at all. You know, I didn't like smiling because I felt like I was unsafe. And she finally said, you want to live with Kathy or Cat? That's what I used to call my Aunt Kathy when I was just a baby. I mean, this is a little background to it. When I was just a baby, I used to name my Aunt Kathy Cat. And it was like a childish name for it and shit. What?
Scared. You don't have a, I don't think so. Exactly. Exactly.
You can take this white lighter if you want. The reason why I said that is I don't like white.
Tell them. Tell them.
I'm sorry.
No, he's going back and he's going back.
So when she said that, you know, that's what I used to call my Aunt Kathy Cat. So or cat.
Tell them.
Oh, cool. Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it all again.
I'm working on the main body for now.
Cool. Come on.
All right. So you know what I'm saying? I was young at the time, but first I said the C word twice. The sound of C like or She's like, Matthew's trying to say, Kathy, Kathy. She's like, Kathy. I said, So finally I called her Cat. That's when I was just a baby. Way from my first sisters came around. So yeah, that's why I started calling her Cat. So we lived with her, and because we said, yeah, we'll do that. It's fine. So we lived with her, and first I have to admit, my Aunt Kathy was very sweet to him and stuff. Even she was. I mean, see, I'm the number one in my family. I'm the number one, or I should say, used to be. I think I'm still number one, but I don't know. Because my Aunt Kathy would say, "You're my number one. You're my baby." But anyway, I mean, she was very nice to my sisters, at first, and then finally, days went by and everything, and then she started picking on my middle sister, well, not my baby sister, but my middle sister, real bad. Called my middle sister a liar, a bitch, a cunt, everything else in the book. It's just when we were kids, and we didn't. I mean, see, I don't know what the fuck was going on at first, but as soon as I knew she started picking on Elizabeth more than any fucking thing, you know what I'm saying? It was just real bad. She's like, Elizabeth, you're a fucking liar. You're a witch. You're a cunt. Oh, you never heard all about this? About Kathy.
Oh. Yeah, I think I know.
So, you know what I'm saying? And Elizabeth was sitting there crying. I mean, I said, and I asked Elizabeth at first. Because me, the older brother on this fucking planet, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I was really, really curious of what the hell was going on. So I'm like, Sissy, Elizabeth. She's like, yeah. I said, come here for a little bit. Come back in my back room. So when my Aunt Kathy was not around, she was outside, basically talking to her best friends, and everything, because we used to live around in New Miami. And New Miami was just you know what I'm saying, small ass, hometown place. And I love New Miami, man. Everybody knows me in New Miami. But, you know what I'm saying, we was, but yeah, she was talking to her friends, and shit, Terry and Tony and shit, but, it was just like, So, I told Elizabeth, I said, Elizabeth, come here for a minute. She's like, yeah. I said, come, I said, go back in this little back room. So my room was all in the back of the house, and it was the fucking biggest room I used to have in the house, man. It was the biggest fucking room. And so I closed the door and everything, as I used to have a little door, in my room. But it was like with a glass, like a screen door or whatever. So, I stepped down on my bed and I said, "Sis, what's going on?" She sat down on my recliner, because I used to have a little kid recliner. And she started crying. She's like, crying and shit. And I'm like, "What's going on?" I said, "What's going on? Why are you crying? What's wrong? What's wrong with that mark there? Why do you have bruises on your face? So I'm just sitting there wondering what the hell's going on. So she's like, "I don't know." I'm like, I'm not gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell no one. So what I'm saying? She's like, Cat hit me. What? Yeah, she hit me. But see, I didn't want to confront her about it as a kid, and I didn't want to get my ass whooped next. And as a kid, we didn't think about calling 911 on her because she was too much of a fucking psycho. And it was just so harsh, man. So, you know what I'm saying? And then, so yeah, it was just bad. And it kept on getting worse from there. She abused Elizabeth so much. Even when she was dead asleep, she'd be out. And here comes my Aunt Kathy harassing her. "Elizabeth, wake your fucking ass up, you fucking bitch. Wake your ass up, witch." Elizabeth was dead asleep. And she thought, and then my Aunt Kathy thought that Elizabeth was, fake sleeping and shit. I mean, even though she was, like that and just down asleep. But she thought, my Aunt Kathy just thought she was fake sleeping, and she wasn't. So, what she did, she fucking got her off the fucking bed. She's like, "Get your fucking ass on the fucking floor." She's like, "Why?" So she beats the fuck out of her and shit, I mean, my Aunt Kathy beat the fuck out of her. "Bitch, I told you fucking get off the fucking, beating her fucking ass, man. Well, this was good, crying and shit. I mean, she came down on the fucking floor, slowly crying on the fucking, getting down on the fucking bed and everything, because she slept on the top bed. And it was so bad. I mean, I don't know why in the fuck she was being the way she was with Elizabeth, but even if I even mention it to her to this fucking day, she would fucking sit there and deny it. "Oh, I never abused your sisters. You know that shit." It was bad. And then finally she started picking on my baby sister, and everything. And all of a sudden, she had her boyfriend in Joe Payne. That's when shit was getting much worse. She put both of my fucking sisters into a hot fucking bath. Scalding hot bath. And all I heard was screaming and hooping and hollering and crying real bad. Like I don't know what the fuck was my aunt doing to them. It was so bad. And all I heard, it was just fucking a nightmare. And I heard Desiree was screaming up a storm and shit. And it sounded like fucking two demons were having a possession back there, man. So I'm just sitting there like, what the hell's going on? And see, the thing is, I was never allowed to go in the back there with him. I was never allowed because she didn't want to see me abuse him. But see, she was very lucky I didn't see no bruises, because I would tell children's services right then and there she was abusing my sisters. But I don't know what the fuck she was doing with my sisters at all. Because my middle sister don't remember shit of what happened. That's what makes me so sad, because I really wanted to know. And I still want to know to this fucking day what happened to my both of my sisters. But they don't remember. And they probably will never tell me. Because they're too damn scared to open up to the big brother. So I never knew what happened. I remember going to school and they told me I was supposed to have a breakfast thing, for breakfast for parents and kids. It was called Parent Day, and came back home to see my aunt. And showed my Aunt Kathy. I said, "Look here, She's like, "Ooh, what you got?" So she showed, and I showed her, and she was like, "Oh." She's like, "You want me to go to parent thing with you?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I really want you to." She's like, "I'll go with you." She's just let me know. I'm like, "Okay, it's fine," because I really wanted to get her. I want her to start cheering up and be her normal self. But see, I forgot the next fucking day to remind her, because it was in the morning, and I forgot to remind her, and I was supposed to remind her to be like, cat, parent day's up, and she's like, because if I reminded her, she would go, but I forgot to remind her. Then after that, I came back home from school because I thought she forgot, but she automatically took it out on me just because I forgot to remind her, and she remembered. But I think she wanted me to wake her up, and so she can drive me to school so we can go eat together. And you know what I'm saying? But no, because I forgot to tell her, and she took it out on me. God damn it! I told you, fucking remind me. No.
Hey, can I have my drink?
Huh?
Can I have my drink real quick? I don't want to put this on this one. That's not gonna stay for the fall.
Because you keep disturbing me. So, you know what I'm saying? She was all on my ass about it. I told you fucking tell me. So, she's like, I'm so mad at you. I can't stand you. But she'll deny it to this day. I never told you that shit. I don't know what the hell you've been dreaming or taking, boy. Huh?
I'm gonna keep it up here.
Okay. But, yeah. And then I remember I was just behaving in school and shit. I mean, I was, But see, the thing is, here's why I was they think I was misbehaving in elementary school because I was trying to tell them a bully was picking on me and they didn't want to believe me. So I started acting up real bad and I'm like, fucking bully. I said, not saying say fucking bully, I said, freaking bully is picking on me, man. I'm getting tired of it. And that's what I told him. I said, I'm getting tired of it. This is if you're getting tired of it, we don't know what to tell you. Like, we never see no bullies pick on you anyway. Everybody likes you here. They didn't want to, and I remember this one fucking guy named Austin Fugate. And I'll fucking still remember to this fucking thing. And he had two buddies, which was William and what was his fucking William and Blake, I think.
Oh.
This is not your kids that you know.
Okay, never mind.
So, I'm just sitting there, having a good time, around recess. And I just minding my own, walking around, nothing to do, didn't have no friends to talk to. You know, here comes this motherfucking kid in the middle of nowhere, Austin Fugate, and he came around. Starts. No, Fugate. This is no people you talk. I'm talking about that you know. I'm not talking about different people. Like, I don't know. This is the different people I'm talking about. This is no people you don't know what I'm talking about. This is
That's
different
talking
people.
about the guy that assaulted you.
No, I'm gonna get to that later. I'm talking about Austin Fugate, not Austin Mitchell. You don't know him.
Okay, we're gonna be mean.
I'm not being mean. Stop. So he came around and I was just walking around. So no, he came around and he fucking, he become being a complete dickhead as a fucking kid. Okay, middle of nowhere, he's just sitting there. I'm sitting there like fucking falling on the fucking ground, knowing my big chubby ass self, looking like a damn roly poly. He said, "Dude, the fuck you doing?" And he was a kid as a kid. He was just a kid being a bully. And I'm like, nothing. And he's like, "You guys stay the fuck away from me. You hear me?" And I'm just, I'm like, okay. So and then it kept on happening and happening every fucking day until it got much worse. So he came around and he pushed me down again, just because he thought I was invading his territory. Get the fuck away from here. And every time I try to find me a girlfriend, no girl would want to accept me in New Miami anyway, because they're all immature. They didn't want to date no one. And so I'm just basically, being being lonesome boy. I mean, every girl I was seeing, Austin would get mad, and he would push me down again. You better stay the fuck away from those fucking girls, bro. I'll fucking punch you in the face. Well, the next day he punched me in the nose. And I mean, because the teachers did not want to believe me. Who busted your nose? And I was forced to blame myself. So, so finally, they saw this one kid, finally, abusing me and shit. He got suspended. They saw Austin. He got suspended, 2 weeks because of it. And he came back after 2 weeks, and he starts picking on me again. I mean, he was a dick. So finally, I had, this is when I finally started slowly having friends, and this is when I met another Austin. His name is Austin. Austin Miller. Me and him were very close back then, man, and he would be a crazy kid, man, and me and him would act like two dogs and shit, and me and him would talk with raspy voices and shit, and act like we're running around and having wars and shit. I mean, and we have a good time, man, and we was just being cool as kids, and so he was playing. I think he was playing Army with other kids, but they didn't want to play with us anyway. So I was just playing with them anyway. So I was just running around with them and stuff, and acting like we're both soldiers, shooting different people like zombies and shit. Like, pew 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 pew, acting like we have guns in our hands, But the teachers didn't see it. They didn't really care anyway because we had a good time. So finally, here comes Austin Fugate again. Wanted to pick on me when he thought Austin Miller was not around because he was scared of Austin Miller. So when he came around and tried to push me around again, you know what I'm saying? This is when he pushed me down right in front of him anyway, because he thought he was not my friend anyway. So he pushed me down, and here comes Austin. Hey, leave him the fuck alone. Who do you fucking think you are? He's like, well, my name's Austin. And then Austin Miller was like, well, I'm Austin, I'm Austin Mitchell. I'm not Austin Mitchell, but I'm Austin Miller. So, best bet, Austin, get the hell out of my face before I give you a bloody nose. So I'm just sitting there like, dude, and I never had people stood up for me like that. So here comes Austin Miller, took me off my feet and everything. You know, I mean, I was just sitting there, you know, I said, well, thank you for standing up for me, man. You know, and he said, yeah. And after that, I haven't seen him the next day because he was sick. And so here comes Austin, um, you know, Austin Fugate come around, fucking sit and pushed me down again. And I fucking sat up fast as I fucking can. And he ran off like a fucking pussy. You know, I hated that fucking kid. And but yeah, I told Austin Miller about it, and I said, Austin, you know Austin Fugate, right? Yeah. Well, he pushed me down again. He said, I'm giving him a fucking bloody nose when I seen him in fucking recess. That's what he fucking did. After lunch, we went to recess, and he fucking gave that motherfucker a bloody nose and 2 black eyes and a busted lip. So that's what's fucking crazy, man. And I'm like, God damn, dude, you fucked them up. I didn't say that, but I'm like, dude, you messed him up. And he said, yeah. Because, see, I didn't want to cuss back then as a kid, you know. I said, you messed him up pretty bad. He said, yeah, I know. He deserves it. So, you know what I'm saying? And then finally, Austin Fugate never fucked me ever again. Then finally I started getting a little bit more friends, which was Sarah. She was a black girl, but she had to move because I think she was moving down to Hamilton. And I mean, I was still New Miami anyway, but you know what I'm saying. But she had to move, you know, months later. I think it was on Easter. But we had so much fun with her, man. She was so cool as a kid, and she was one of those good kids like that, good sense of humor. And I've always sat close by her and on the bus and stuff. I've always messed with her braids, you know, as a black, you know. I mean, seriously, she was a black girl, but I loved her braids. I said, I love your braids. And she's like, you can play with them if you want to, you know, being very nice to me. And so she knew I liked to fiddle with things, you know, look at things and stuff. But I was looking at her braids or her beads in her hair. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So I haven't seen her since after that. Then I remember seeing this girl named Kathleen Honeycutt in New Miami. Then after that, she got out of there. Because, you know what I'm saying, she was moving to a different school in Hamilton. Then after that, I saw my ex, Tori Fox, and I never dated her in New Miami. But she was a friend of mine then, you know, from preschool to elementary school. She was my friend then, you know what I'm saying? But she moved off, you know, to Hamilton as well. But even though I do remember when I went to Janet Clemens as preschool, I'm giving you back stories, but I'm sorry. Even when I remember when I was in preschool, which was Janet Clemens, man. I remember seeing some cool kids in there, man. And that's when me and Lacey met in there and stuff, and Tori Fox was in there. But they never got along. And yeah, it was just different shit going on. And I don't remember the rest of it. But I do remember not seeing Lacey for a long time after that. That was back in 97. Lacey was only just a baby, a year old. She was confident. But anyway, we're going to talk about, you know. So finally, you know what I'm saying, after those months of school and stuff, me and Austin was just the closest friends ever, though. And so, you know what I'm saying, I mean, me and him would crack up and stuff. And I remember this fucking joke, man, it's so old to me now. Like, looking for butts, looking for booties, looking for butts, you know. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got him in trouble we got in trouble by this fucking teacher named Miss Daniels, and she was a big chubby lady. You know, she's like, "Excuse me, you don't stay looking for butts in the hallway. It's inappropriate." I said, "Sorry, don't say it again. I'm gonna make sure somebody's gonna write you up for detention." Okay, we won't say it no more. I mean, that's when I was just in, I think, in first grade, saying all that. It was so funny as fuck, man. Oh god, that's funny. So, yeah. And then, yeah, one of the kids was trying to keep it clean. Oh, looking for crayons, looking for 2 boxes. And most people be like, I mean, us 90s kids, that's all our 90s kids, man. We would do some dumb shit. To say some dumb shit. I remember one of my fucking favorite gym teachers, man, named Mr. Bonar. And now they call him Mr. B now. Because they think we're all down here, right? Oh, he has a Mr. Bonar or something. But no, he still works, I think, down in New Miami. He's probably been working there all of his fucking life. And last time I saw him, I'll get to that in a minute, but last time I saw him, yeah, let me tell you now. Last time I saw him when I was living with my grandma at the time. But I'll get to that later. So, me and Mr. Bonar was getting very close at the time, and me and my favorite gym teacher. Me and Mr. Bonar was getting too close as two peas in a pod. And so, and then finally we always did, And then I remember Miss Potton, she was the fucking best fucking art teacher ever in my life as well. Miss Potton was one of those fucking awesome art teachers. And she had so much faith in me with my art, and she always looked at my art, and she loved it. And because what I used to draw little bit cars, little box cars, little wheels and stuff, and I made a little swirly racetrack, with cars, going out of it or going inside of it and shit. She liked it, and so you know what I'm saying. She's like, "Good job." And she's like, "When do you learn to draw like that?" I'm like, "I just practice, Oh, okay. So, you know what I'm saying? I felt really confident in myself, really good. And then I remember my music teacher, which was Miss Karastan. She was a Chinese teacher, but I loved her very much. But she was more of a, when I was just a kid, she was kind of a bitch if you didn't want to do your work. She's like, "No, you do your work now. What are you doing? No." She's kind of a bitch. She was one of those, I think, Asian teachers, but she was fine. When she did her work, start singing. We would sing Hot Cross Buns and all the kids' favorites. And it was crazy. So, and let's see, where else did we have? See, we had only music, art, and gym. I don't know what else we used to have. I think that's all we had. Yeah, music, art, and gym. And it was the best. Until finally one day, I'm gonna fast because I don't remember anything else. So finally one day, New Miami elementary school was really getting knocked down, and Amazon started charging my phone. And it was about to get ready to be knocked down. So we did a ceremony for the place. I wished I had the fucking newspaper because I felt like I was in the newspaper. And I was with my Aunt Kathy and her boyfriend Joe and my 2 sisters. Was doing a ceremony for that school. And then I finally went back to school, I think it was on summertime. Uh, so they said, "Oh, what we're gonna do?" Well, they said on the piece of paper, "We're giving away, free stuff to kids. We're having like little sales out the money." Well, we did have money, but fake money. Um, so we know they were doing that this stuff for free and stuff. Like only just the play money. And my teacher, Miss Lee, I think she was part Cherokee. Part Cherokee. See, we had different teachers then. You know what I'm saying? We always went to different classrooms and stuff to learn. But my homeroom was Miss Lee. Okay? And then I started slowly, and then after Miss Lee went to a different classroom, then we had a brand new teacher, which was Miss Jackson. Oh my God, Miss Jackson, man, was the sexiest motherfucking teacher in my life as a kid. I really had a crush on her. I'm serious, I really had a crush on her.
Dude,
Shut up, let me finish.
let me just say one thing.
Oh my God, shut up. Look at this. What? What?
I'm fine.
Tell me.
I'm fine.
Tell me. Tell me. Whatever. So, I wrote songs about her and shit with my handwriting and shit. Oh, Miss Jackson. So I started testing out with pencils and shit, and like fucking on my desk was a drum. Mr. Jackson, you're so pretty. Alright, more shit that down. I want to make you as my. I'm just people like, hey, you had a crush on the teacher? Oh my God, I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off, man, and I'm just sitting there hee 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 hee. And yeah, but yeah, that's when Miss Jackson was like, all right, kids, now today, after we're done coloring and stuff, because this is your last day of coloring, and Miss Lee, the reason why she's not teaching you anymore, kids, because I'm your new teacher. So make sure you grab your markers or your smelly markers, whatever, and color in, or your pencil, whatever. So what I did is grab a marker or whatever, a crayon, just scribble and shit. Finally turned in my work. She's like, all right, honey, just sit down for a little bit and enjoy yourself. So I started talking to my bed. Well, so alongside with me which was Austin. And Austin, man, was he's like, dude, he said, you know what we're gonna do next, right? I said, what we're gonna do? He said, you didn't read or anything? I said, no. He said, well, I don't know how to read it. He said, but the teacher told me that you know what I'm saying, that they're gonna give away stuff to us. That's gonna be all day. So they're gonna give us bags and stuff in a little bit. I said, oh really? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I said, okay, that's cool. So after everybody was done, Miss Jackson was like, all right, honey. She said, you kids go grab some bags. Today we're gonna start selling stuff to you guys. Well, I'm gonna start selling stuff to you guys, and you know what I'm saying, see where it goes from there. So she starts selling, like little rock collection drawers and other stuff. I really wanted that. I said, dude, I want that. That's pretty cool. Because, see, I really wanted to put rocks and stuff. As a kid, I really wanted to collect it. I really wanted to collect rocks and gemstones and rubies and stuff. I wanted to fucking collect different kinds of rocks and elements and shit. I really wanted to do that. So, instead, somebody else had that. I was so upset. I'm like, yeah. So, instead, they gave me like a few stuffed animals, a little bit of toys off of her, which was little action figures and Hot Wheels and stuff, and that's what I wanted. Until the bell rang. Okay, in the next classroom, because we had to do a bidding now. After that, we were doing bidding, and this is what we did. We was sitting there like, okay, since they give me like a big stack of money, and I don't know how much it was. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to count money back then as a kid, so they just gave me, dollar bills and shit. It was just singles, fake money. And so here's the teacher named Miss Lee, because she was in the other room. And she's in the other room, and she's like, "All right, kids, sit down. We're going to do a bidding today. I'll be your bidder, and you guys can pick what you want." Well, anyway, I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this stuff to you, and then see how much you want for it. So what she pulled out was more action figures and stuff like that, like WWE action figures and stuff. Because usually, when you had playtime and stuff, and then kids will start having matches and stuff with wrestling and stuff, they let that happen. So I'm like, wow. So Miss Lee liked watching wrestling, that's why she had action figures and stuff in her room. So they were basically doing a bidding on that, and one kid was betting, and she's like, all right. She's like, anyone start, raise their money and everything, and tell me how much money you want to pay for it. So let's do the bid. So she started doing, okay, you first. $2, $2 million, not $2 million, but $2 and something. She was doing so fast, and I couldn't know what the fuck she was saying. She was really good at it, even though she was really full-blooded Cherokee. She was speaking so fast like a bidder. I can't remember what she was saying. $2 and okay, well, first of all, this is okay. What she said? Okay, $2, and I said $10. Two and $10. Well, actually, I don't know how it fuck. 10. Actually, 2. I don't fucking know. But anyway, she was just sitting there doing bitter voice and shit, and then one kid was trying to compete after me and shit. He's like, $5 million, And I'm like, I'm thinking, who in the hell is going to spend $5 million or something like that, or $2 million, something like that? And I'm just thinking that. So I said, $8 quadrillion, $8 quadrillion, it's like that. We're just making shit up. And this kid was trying to give it to me. He's like, all the money in the world, wins. I'm like, yeah. I was so mad, man. But yeah, he won. I had toy action figures and shit. I mean, it was just, yeah. I was so mad. Like WWE action figures and stuff. So, and then finally, I saw this one thing I wanted to get so bad, which was one of those old vintage fucking. It was a baby toy, but I really wanted it as a kid, though. Kids like playing toys. Probably now they play with video games or something. But so anyway, like it was just so much chaos and stuff. So what I wanted, which was I think it was like, what the fuck it was? I can't remember. Yeah, the vintage phone. That's what it was. The vintage baby phone. And it had like, 4 buttons. Actually, yeah, 4 buttons. They were different colors and shit. And so I'm like, it is what it is. I took it, I just did the bidding and I got it. And that's all I remember. I mean, then after that, we finally went to the library. We picked out a few books we wanted to take home. And so we did pick out a few books. And so, yeah. After all that, that's what we had. We had lots of things. Everybody was satisfied. Every kid was. when school was out, that's when I saw the newspaper from the school. They knocked the school down. We haven't had school for months. And New Miami started falling back because they got held back because of what happened to the school. So when finally Christmas came around, my Aunt Kathy was, you know, she asked me, she said, well, what do you want for Christmas? And this is when PS1 starts coming around. PlayStation. Yeah, getting to the point where I start playing video games. And this is how video games really saved my life. Hold on a second. If you guys see something pink, ignore it. Don't judge.
Okay.
Shut up. Not gay. Anyway. Slow this down. There we are. So anyway, I said, after she asked me what I want for Christmas, I said, I don't know. She's like, well, she starts showing me the ads what I wanted, and this is when we had Kmart around Hamilton, and I'm talking about different kinds of stores, Radio Shack, all that shit, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, I said, well, I want tons of toys and a PlayStation and some games. I mean, I was spoiled shitless for my aunt. I mean, she spoiled all three of us shitless during Christmas. So it was a really good Christmas. I mean, see what I had for my PlayStation. The first PlayStation. That's what I used to have was the very first PlayStation. And I think what games I had for it, which was Gran Turismo, I think some kind of golf game. I can't remember. Pro Golfer, 99 or something like that. And some wrestling games and some demo games and some other stuff like that. Even I had Resident Evil 2 and 1. I mean, I just had everything. Even the first Metal Gear Solid game. So, I said, okay, and that's cool. I started playing more of the demos though, after I had all that. But I never played with toys hardly, because I didn't want to clean it up. Okay, and see how video games started changing my life. I started playing PS1 all the fucking time. Even if I wanted to commit suicide, I started playing PS1. Even if I started thinking about my mom, I started playing PS1. Even if I didn't have no of my fucking friends and I wanted to fucking jump off the fucking cliff because I was so lonely about it, I wanted to fucking play my PS1. And so that's how fucking video games saved my life. And I'm more of a I'm more addicted to PlayStation consoles more than any fucking thing. Okay, and then after I had me a PlayStation 1, I had me a Dreamcast. Now, Dreamcast was one of those hard games to play. And so I finally warmed up on it because it was so easy, when I got used to it. Because what games I used to have for it, which was Sonic Adventure, Sonic's Adventure. What else did I have? I think Resident Evil. I think the first one. And some racing games and all that stuff, but I lost it all. You know what I'm saying? But the only game I wanted to play so bad on Dreamcast, which was Soul Calibur. That was the very first Soul Calibur. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, as a kid, I started seeing video games develop more. After 8-bit, we went to 3D and shit. We went to everything. And then the very first time I've ever saw a Nintendo 64, the very first time I saw a Nintendo 64, it was back in 1997, and I started wanting to play it. I mean, as a kid, I mean, even I start, what I'm saying, but see, the very first game console I ever had which was the PlayStation 1. But like I said, but the reason why I wanted to play the reason why that I wanted to have a Nintendo 64 is because what I'm saying, I knew there was more games that I want to play. You know what I'm saying? But I was never allowed to have a Nintendo 64 anyway because it was really expensive then. And so my aunt just sat there and gave me a PlayStation 1 instead. But that's why I'm more addicted to PlayStation than anything else. And I like my Nintendo 64 as well because it has all my other favorite games in it as well, and I'll tell you why later. So yeah, I mean, I was playing the PlayStation all the time. Even like I said, I tell you everything. I told you everything. Even even though my PlayStation, helped me out through all that. It helped me through my anxiety. It helped me through my depression. I mean, I loved playing PlayStation. I mean, I was getting new games every fucking day. I was getting fishing games. I was getting more golf games. I was getting more crazy shit. And then finally, finally in the year 2002, well, actually, finally in 2001, that's when the first time I've ever saw the 9/11 attack. On New York when Osama bin Laden was alive, and I've seen those attack. I've seen a New Yorker got attacked on TV. When I saw that on the news, I was really becoming scared a little bit because I don't know what the hell was going to happen. But when I saw those two twin towers fell, I started hearing country music and this is how I become getting addicted to old country music because I grew up with it. And I'll tell you all the stuff I'll tell you all the old country stuff I like in a little bit. But yeah, when I saw the twin towers, falling on the ground and stuff, they even showed fucking Discovery or something. I think it was. Can't remember what the fucking was. It was called PBS. I started seeing that shit on PBS, and they start showing videos of New York being attacked, and I've seen it all on television. I mean, I really wanted to watch my Cartoon Network and watch Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and stuff, but I was never allowed to because I was wanting to see the 9/11 attack at the same time. I was wanting to see that. I was wanting to see what was going on in the world. And that's the first time I've ever saw the 9/11 attack. Got it. Well, yeah, the 9/11 attack. That's the first time I've ever saw that. I cried in 2001. I cried. I felt so sorry, and I still feel so sorry for New York. And it was so bad. You know what I'm saying? They start talking more about the 9/11 attack on the news and what they're going to do. Because President Bush was like, he was really like, wow. But yeah, everybody's wondering what the hell we're going to do next in America. So, finally, and when New Year's hit, what I'm saying, everything was getting okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in 2002, okay, this is way before my dad started stepping in. In 2002, I was wanting to listen to music. There's different varieties of music. Different varieties. There's techno, there's pop, there's R&B, country, rock. You guys know that. So I'm just sitting there like I didn't know what music was. Cause see, I grew up around country. It doesn't matter what kind of country I grew up with. It could be with Randy Travis and Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney, Alan Jackson, Toby Keith, Alabama, and some other stuff like that. And then I started growing up around with. The first time I ever grew up with was with the Outlaws. And this is when Johnny Cash was still alive. Okay? Even though he died in 2003. But in 2002, I started listening to Johnny Cash as well, like The Highwaymen, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, I already said Johnny Cash, David Allan Coe, Hank Williams Jr., all the country legends, all the country outlaws. I started listening to them as well. And to me, I truly think that's real country music. And, you know what I'm saying? Like Johnny Paycheck and all that. But, you know what I'm saying? As you look, I mean, to me, I think that was like Southern country to me. But as you look at the clean country, like the best country, like, Alabama and all of them, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty good country too, and it seemed like it was real country as well. 90s country and 80s country and 70s country was the fucking best, and maybe the 60s. And like I said, I started listening to some shit from way back and until the present. I mean, I was really addicted to it. And then so I started picking out my favorite country artists, okay? And I'm going to tell you my three country artists I like the most. One of them is a band, which is Alabama. I've always loved Alabama. Alabama has a good long history, right? Inside their books. I love their music. It's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's really cheerful and happy. I mean, the first time I've ever listened to Alabama is when I was always depressed. And the first time I've ever heard "Love in the First Degree" which was on CD. You know what I'm saying? That was fucking amazing. And I started listening to other songs too by Alabama. Then I started getting into David Allan Coe. That was back in 2006, though, but I'll get to that later. And then I started getting into Alan Jackson. Because, see, I started getting into David Allan Coe. Not David Allan Coe. Hold on. What the fuck was I going to say? But see, when I started listening to Alan Jackson, I'll tell you about that a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes, I think in 2005. But I'll tell you about that later. But I started listening to Alabama more than anything because my Aunt Kathy O always played Alabama. And, but see, when I went to the bars and stuff, this is when New Miami let their kids go in bars and hang out with their parents and stuff while they were getting drunk. But not the kids were not getting drunk. At the time, they weren't. They were drinking just mostly root beer and, Mountain Dew and Faygo and stuff. And then this is when I started meeting my best friend. Well, she used to be my best friend. This is when I used to hang out with her. Uh, I think it was somewhere. Yeah, it was getting summer anyway. Um, but you know what I'm saying? When I started hanging out with her and stuff and everything, because her mom was mostly bartender. She was giving everybody, every kid pop. But she gave the kid, she gave the adults alcohol. Uh, so her name was Rochelle, and she was a bartender. I went in that bar. She's like, "Oh, hi, sweetie." Everybody knew me in the bar anyway. All the adults. All the kids I used to grow up with, and I knew their parents. And I said, "Hey, guys." "Oh, hi, Matthew. How you doing, buddy?" And then here comes some parts of my family members. Um, like my Uncle Billy and my Uncle Charlie, they were fucking drinking beer back then, long before they even became Christians, and long before they became pastors. So I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is when I saw him start. They both start drinking and smoking cigarettes together. Because my Uncle Billy, man, he would sit there and play pool with people, get drunk, and then go home. But that's when I started seeing him a little bit. And then but one of my best friends, Sierra, she's like, well, go in the back, go back in the bar. My mom's gonna give you something to drink. I said, all right. So that's when Kathy introduced me to her. The first time I ever met Sierra. That's before I started going to the bar and stuff. And she introduced me to her. This is Sarah, and this is her mom, Rochelle. They're going to stay here, close by us somewhere. Okay, that's fine. Well, actually, that's way before all that happened. Well, what happened was my Aunt Kathy met Rochelle at the bar, and then that's when they started drinking and stuff, even though she was the bartender. Then she started introducing me to Sarah and stuff, because I think my Aunt Kathy was like, well, Matthew, he would love to have a nice girlfriend or something, or a friend just to hang out with. She's like, well, my daughter, Sarah, she'll love Matthew. So that's when she introduced me to Sarah. Matthew, this is Sarah. You know what I'm saying? I hope you two have a good, friendship and stuff, because I just hope you guys, work things out. So I said, hi, my name's Matthew, and I shook her hand, and she's like, hi, Matthew. Son of a bitch.
What's that?
My phone gone dead. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. My phone is like wanting to die.
I wish you weren't walking that girl.
Is it plugged in? Yes. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's when the next day I went to the bar. Hang out with Sarah for a long time. Because her mom gave us some soda, like pop and stuff, and some chips. And so yeah, that's when we had a good time, man. I mean, because her mom Rochelle was like, "Honey, what do you like? There's any kind of pop." I said, "Do you have Faygo?" She's like, "What kind of Faygo do you want?" This is when I started getting the Faygo. And dude, I'm telling you what, right now, the first time I ever took a shot of Faygo, and she's like, "Well, here's a little shot glass." And the first time I ever tried Faygo, it was really good. I think there was that cotton candy one. She's like, "You like this cotton candy Faygo?" I'm like, oh yeah, I like this one. She's like, "Okay, sweetie." She's like, "Here you go." She gave me a fucking 24 ounce. To me, it was about this motherfucking big as a kid. So, I was drinking with Sarah, and she was drinking peach. She's like, "You like your cotton candy Faygo?" And I said, yeah, this is nice. I like it. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I'm starting to like you, nephew. You're really popping to me, man. And I'm like, I get what you're saying to me now, just because we have pop. She's like, yeah. So I mean, I think of this is when I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I'm just sitting here chilling with her, man. She's like, yeah, I'm starting to pop. I'm starting to, get used to you, Matthew. You're pretty cool. I said, yeah, you too. So here comes her mom, Rochelle. She gave us pizza. It was Papa John's, and it was in the summertime. It was daytime, man. It felt good outside, and we was having good Fago and some pizza. And she's like, oh yeah, here's some chips and stuff for you guys too. If you guys want more chips, and she's like, do you want some flaming fries, Matthew, or something? I said, yeah, that's fine. So she gave me flaming fries, and she gave Sarah some cheese curls and shit, man. Which was those Cheetos.
Yeah.
Or I think no, she didn't eat Cheetos. She had Doritos. Here, leave her thing up there. There's on grab it. So I'm just sitting there like eating pizza with her and shit. So finally, she's like, "Mom, I'm gonna take you home." I said, "Okay." I said, "Where you guys live at?" And she was like, "Well, I live somewhere around here. I'm not allowed to tell you." I said, "Okay." So what I'm saying? I was really kind of weirded out at the time, and I was only 7, only 2001 though. Not 7, but 6, only 2001 or 7 probably.
Well,
I don't fucking
so
know.
born in '94.
I don't fucking know.
7.
But that's when after all that happened, the Twin Towers. This is not 2002 though. I'll get to the 2002 in a minute. But
Yeah.
that's way before New Year's hit. And so when 2002 came around, what I'm saying, that's when, what I'm saying, she started liking me even more though. And I was going to like I said, I was going to the bar every day with her and shit, hanging out with her and stuff. And her mom liked me very much too. She said I was very special to Sarah, very nice and very caring. And my Aunt Kathy liked it. They thought we were going to be dating. And but we were just close friends. We were never dating or nothing. We were just wanting to have a time of our lives, man. That's just friends. Best friends. And her mom was like, you know what? Since this is the new year, since it's 2002, I'm gonna see if they really want to date, or if she wants to date him, and see if we can step it up a notch. And yeah, so that's what happened. I mean, but it didn't happen. Me and her didn't date. And see, I liked Sarah very much as a kid, man. I liked hanging out with her because she was always soothing my anxiety, and she always helped me get through it. She was a good caring friend about it. Um, even though we went to school with each other, I even saw her do gymnastics and stuff, man. And she was fucking flexible. One time, when I saw her do gymnastics, man.
Got a hard on.
No, I did not. I've seen her do some crazy shit. I mean, I've seen her do fucking almost do a cartwheel, but she did a backflip. Kept on doing a backflip. Then it turned into a fucking cartwheel. Then she fucking did enough fucking adrenaline. She spun up in the fucking air, and she fucking did a back or front flip, and she landed on her 2 feet, and she was crazy. she looked like a fucking spider monkey, dude.
Don't ask where that came from. Yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't know what to expect, man. I said, that's pretty cool, Sarah. She's like, yep, thank you.
You're talking about Sierra?
Yeah.
Not Sarah, Sierra.
Well, you know,
Yes, dear.
I know she. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. So, I was like, wow. I really liked it a lot, man. I thought me and her were going to be just, I don't know what. But we didn't date. But when her mom came, when she's like, came up and picked me up and stuff, her mom was like, yeah, Sarah, she's hanging out with her other friends real quick, and she'll be back home and spend the night. Well, she'll be back over here, and she'll let you spend the night with you for 2 nights. Is that okay? I said, yeah. I said, it's okay with you? She's like, I don't care. You can spend 2 nights with me, sweetheart. You can do what you want to do. She's like, you can go home if you want to. I said, no, I'm good. She's like, you sure? You won't miss cat feet or anything? I said, I'm good. I just want to get out of the house for a little bit. And I felt fucking awesome, man, hanging out with her, man, because I felt like I was like part of the family. And when Sarah came around, she's like, hi, Matthew, hi. Give me a hug. I missed you. I missed you too, Sarah. Where have you been? Oh, I'm seeing my 2 friends, She's like, is your anxiety okay? Do you need a glass of water or anything? Do you have to calm you down? I said, a little bit. I'm thirsty. Because I was still biting my nails and skin and shit. She's like, yeah, you need to settle down, dude. So mostly what she did, keep me off my anxiety and shit. She would fucking, fix me a sandwich and shit, and make me eat a banana sandwich or whatever it was. It was pretty damn good, whatever she did. And she fixed me a thing of cereal in the morning, man. She was a fucking good girl to me, man. And her mom loved me. So this is like what shocked me the most, man, because she's like, well, where do you want to sleep at? Because it was getting nighttime. I said, I don't know. I said, I don't want to sleep alone. She's like, well, my mom says I can sleep with you if you want me to. So, I was like, all right, I'll let you sleep with me, downstairs if you want to. She's like, no, come sleep upstairs with me. My mom don't care. So what we did, we slept, and we just basically, she really wanted to sleep on my back because she wanted to sleep on something hard, because my shoulder blade was the hardest to her, and I really felt like I was dating her, man. But she was a true friend, and she was just not a girlfriend to me. She was just one of those fucking awesome friends. She didn't give a fuck. And then the next day, we woke up together, and I cracked her up saying something funny as hell. I can't remember what it was. She started laughing. She's like, only you would think something crazy, Matthew. So, I said, oh yeah, I remember I said, you look like a damn flamingo trying to stretch for the freaking, I don't know what, but man, it looks kind of weird. And she's like laughing. She's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, I don't really like you, Matthew. I just wish you weren't so slow because I'll date you. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. But it didn't happen. So, that's when I think finally it was finally getting cold on November. Actually, not November. On October. And I haven't seen her for a long time. And then my dad finally started wanting to come around. And this is when my dad wanted custody of me. Then after I've started seeing news about the shooting in the bar and shit in Miami, that closed down. So that's when my dad started coming around. Oh, I want my son. I want my son to live with me, Kathy, and everything, because I'm about to um, file custody papers with him. And my aunt Kathy started telling me the bad news, and I started crying. And shit was about to change for me yet again. So I started looking for my dad. After he got papers to have custody of me and shit. And was in 2002. And this is when I started getting to heavy metal and stuff, because my dad listens to heavy metal like Creed, Godsmack, Metallica, uh, Rammstein, and you name it, just fucking heavy metal's out the ass. But I'll get to that in a little bit. So, I didn't really know my dad at the time. I was quite nervous. So, I mean, who would? I mean, who wouldn't be nervous? I was nervous out of my fucking ass, guys, and I'm sitting there looking around and shit. I didn't have no toys yet because I think all my toys were on Kathy's, and Kathy did not want to give them up. My aunt Kathy did not want to give them up. She said, these are hits. They're not going fucking nowhere. And I had to leave the PlayStation there too. I had to leave my PlayStation there because just in case I'd come and see my aunt Kathy and spend a week or two with her, and my sisters were still living with her by then. So, but I really even saw my sisters, a little bit. I mean, even though they were kind of happy to see me, baby, and yeah. But see, living with my dad was really. I feel like I was living in a hard shell. And my dad was always laying so much rules down that, and as me growing up, he laid so much strict rules down. Oh son, if you get up late at fucking night, like I was going to late up on fucking night anyway, and he's like, if you get up late at night and start playing with your toys and shit, I'm busting your fucking ass, just like that. I didn't know what to fucking expect. My dad was a complete dick. He didn't want to. I'm thinking, okay, if you want to file custody papers to me, then why the fuck is he being a dick to me? Okay, and then finally he starts fucking warming up to me. Come here, son, I love you. And I mean, I think he was trying to be a father. I don't fucking know, but I guarantee you, I don't know what to expect. And he's like, I love you, son, and so yeah, it was just chaos. My dad, started living with this one chick. Uh, well, after he didn't live with this one chick, her name is Michelle, but he didn't live with her for a long time after that. We moved from her, and we started with my grandma. And it was just fucking crazy shit, man. You see, when I was living with my dad and my dad's girlfriend Michelle, things got kind of fucking tough for me, man. I thought I'd smoking it. So I mean, what he did, if I was disobeying my dad, like if I wanted to eat some sweets, my dad would basically punish me by grabbing two drawers, like one of these side drawers to put things in. I think it was a medium sized thing. So he's extending in the middle of the floor and hold your arms out like this. Like I'm fucking giving somebody a huge hug. Okay? And my arms hurt so bad doing that now to this fucking day. It hurts so bad. My arms are fucking shot. So is my nerves. So this is when I started discovering anxiety really bad and stress and all that shit. I mean, it did not mix really well. So my dad was really being a complete dick to me. I mean, he put two fucking drawers, two drawer, like one drawers or one drawer for each hand. There was two, but I had to go like this the whole fucking time, and I had to hold them. I had to hold them for a straight hour, just like that, middle of the fucking floor. And I was sitting there, my arms went like this, going lower and down. And then my dad would start, yelling at me, lift him up, and I had to lift him up, just trying my hardest to. It was so hard to, even though I was the weakest one. Lift him up, yelling at me and shit. And I start shaking. I'm like, Dad, I'm trying to lift him up. Lift him up, goddammit. I fucking busted fucking at me. Fucking took off my fucking belt, And he did. He really took off my fucking belt. He was waiting for fucking take a good swing out of me if I didn't fucking lift him up. So, I'm trying my hardest to fucking lift the motherfuckers up. So finally he's taking fucking whipped my fucking ass with the fucking belt, and I had to lift him up. And I couldn't hardly lift him up anymore. He was yelling at me how loud as he fucking could. Finally I heard the door slam. And I heard a person walking up the stairs. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing, Steven? You're torturing your kid? What the fuck? So he's like, no, leave him alone. He deserves it. He deserves to fucking cry and have anxiety and shit. He's fucking faking it, Michelle. So, he was just abusive towards me, man. Hurting my arms. My arms were fucking brittle for like fucking 4 days, dude. I couldn't hardly lift my arms up, man. They were hurting so bad. So, after she saw that, she's like, come on, man. If you come downstairs with me, my dad's like, nope. He's not going fucking nowhere. He closes the fucking door. And I started throwing a fit, stomping on the fucking floor and shit. He's like, stop fucking stomping on the goddamn floor. And I was like, no, because I don't get the fuck out. I'm done. I don't want to. He said, son, if you keep on being a little cocky little bitch, I'll bust your fucking ass again. And so Michelle's like, no, leave him the fuck alone. He has enough. Let him go. He's like, fine, get the fuck out of my face, you little shit. And so they had a huge argument. And all I remember was like, fuck you, you bitch, you da-da-da-da-da. My son deserves to get his ass whipped. You always like to fucking ruin everything. Da-da-da-da. You're not his mother, And she's like, I don't give a damn if I'm not his mother or not. I can call children's services on you, Steve. He's like, get out of my fucking room now. She came downstairs crying and shit. She's like, you know what? Fuck him. Why don't we just go to the ice cream place and get you an ice cream? My dad got pissed as a motherfucker, and I heard was boom, boom, because I heard he sucked a fucking wall or something, because he got mad. He hates me eating sweets. So, you know what I'm saying? So she took me to the fucking, ice cream place, and she ate your ice cream. It was a blueberry dipped ice cream. It was so fucking good. I ate that motherfucker like it was no tomorrow. That son bitch falling apart in my hand. I'm just sitting there fucking, shit. I'm fucking eating that motherfucker because I loved sweets as a kid. I said, this is so good. She's like, don't tell your dad I did this. I'm like, he knows already. Why did you tell him? No, he heard you say you would bring him some sweets. Damn. She's like, I'm not gonna hear it from him. I'm not gonna hear it. She's like, I'm not gonna hear it from him anymore. She's like, I'm about to be done with him. She's like, your dad is being a pain in the ass. She said, if I ever could adopt you, I would. So she really felt sorry for me. But see, thing is, the reason why we had to leave from her house because she couldn't take my dad anymore. She wanted me to get the hell out of her. She wanted me to get the hell out of there as well because, you know what I'm saying, she knew she couldn't have me, and she really wished to God she could really sit there and like, wrap her arms around me and take care of me and shit because she loved me. And but see, I never called her mom or anything. I just called Michelle. And she tried to help me with new things like helping how to tie my shoes and shit because I never knew how to tie shoes. And my dad was trying to teach me the hardest way by giving me a fucking book. It had shoelaces in it, and had a little shoe in it, and you had to fucking tie the motherfucker. You know, and I couldn't figure out how to tie shoes. You know, then my dad never really wanted to help me. So you know what I'm saying? He grabbed me a fucking Zippo lighter. He said, "Well, here, best way to do it is try it with a Zippo lighter," making me look like a complete retard. You know, didn't know what to do with a fucking Zippo lighter. He wanted me to burn it. The motherfucker, I don't know. You know, and I never knew how to tie my shoes, or anything. So you know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Well, fuck it." You know, he said, "If I have to fucking tie his damn shoes, I'll fucking tie his shoes. I'm about done with him." He said, "I'm about to bury my son." And then, you know, Michelle's like, "Don't do that. You know, give him a chance." And so she starts playing, little toys with me and stuff. I start having this little keyboard got for Christmas, and it was a little toy, you know, play on it and stuff. I hate this phone. So yeah, I mean, she taught me how to play, but I didn't know how to play. I started playing different tunes. She's like, "I give up. Do what you want to do." So, yeah. So finally, my mom. Wow, I wish she was my mom. So finally, Michelle said, "I had enough, Steven. I'm done. I don't want to deal with you anymore." Then we had a huge argument, and he smoked weed with her, but see if that would work with anything with the relationship, but that didn't work. So after that, we got out of my fucking house, and I haven't seen Michelle since. Yep.
And your mom was video?
But anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to get off of here because my phone is at 9%, and if I keep on rambling, I thought I was gonna smoke lots of weed tonight and tell you lots of shit, but I can't for now. But if I have a 100% battery, yeah, I'll tell you for the longest time and try to make this. Except I have to make. I was trying my hardest not to make this different parts of the story of my life. I was trying my hardest to, you know what I'm saying, make it all in one video, but I have to make it in different parts. And if I remember most of it, I'll tell you more of it. And then, then I can probably, if this is a playlist, so you guys can hear different parts and stuff. But I'll continue from there a little bit, just a little bit further before I go. After we moved from Michelle, then we lived with my grandma, which is his mom. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit, and that's all I'm gonna tell you for now. And so we're gonna make part 2 of this because I know I have to make a part 2 of this, and yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to replay this video and see what I said, and then I'm gonna have to continue from there. To make a part 2, and if I have to make a part 3, I'll do that as well. So, anyway, guys, I'm getting off of here. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that you guys don't experience. I hope you guys don't experience what I experienced as a kid, because I had fucking rough. But there's many more stuff to tell you. So it doesn't matter how many parts I'm gonna make for you guys, as long as you guys try to pay attention. Anyway, guys, I love you guys, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace. Stay tuned for part 2.